chase your dreams and
wake
up at 5 a.m. every
We were
morning.
talking about it.
Literally, sometimes I'm just like, shut up.
I was
I just haven't. I can't do that today.
Kind of avocado, sourdough, black pepper, garnish with like. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes homeless bread. Like.
Always basic. What?
No, but
Fashion
Like,
no,
Nova.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Very much a fashion
No, it's
style
not.
icon.
Because people see me looking mad in Tesco. So
We actually joke that
We're
that our mums actually stole us from someone. We're actually twins.
Yo, people, it's the One Devotion. You know what time it is? Daily Devotion Podcast. Here for another episode for the culture. So as you were talking about, you know, a lot's happened, a lot's gone on, and there's a lot to talk about. Just touching upon mental health in general. You know, every week it's mental health week or this sort of awareness, but people are living with things every single day. How do you, you know, deal with your mental health? Like, how do you, other than the week on we are off venting, like, how do you, you know?
Shocking.
Shopping.
Shocking.
How
No,
do
shocking. We don't deal with it. That's what we was talking about last night, actually. How to deal with that. Talking about gratitude and journaling and how we could help not be so like overwhelmed and stressed out and deal with things better. So we were saying about trying out like journaling every night, having like, you know, some gratitude about what we're, you know, so we know that, because I think when we were saying like with the event that we did, we still haven't took in that like we did it, like we haven't really kind of like pat ourselves in the back like we actually did that. So I think we have to kind of just, I don't know, sit and think that, you know, what we're thankful for. So
because actually, even though we was having a bit of like we just have a stress phone call every day. So we was having a stress phone call yesterday, and we actually said, oh, you know, it's coming to the end of the year. It's like nearly December, and we've actually done nothing this year. And then we was like, what the heck? We did a whole event. Like we have
like
done
do
things.
something every day.
We're doing things.
We're living. We're alive. That's enough.
Yeah, but it's like why we and there's 2 months left of the year. You just don't know. Like
we've got another event.
Yeah, we've got another event. So it's like you do sometimes think like, oh, I've done nothing. I'm not like blah blah blah. But actually, when you think like, yeah, I'm just here. I'm living. I'm happy. And like.
And this wasn't actually our plan for this year, so it wasn't even that we had this written down at the start of the year to even do this. Yeah. This just kind of like
developed
and then it's like we're just like, okay, we've done it now, we're confident, so let's just keep going and not stop. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it helps. We're very close friends, so it helps because we just have each other to
to vent and balance.
Balance. Honestly, sometimes I think like. People that just don't have that like one close friend, I just don't know
how to cope.
How do you cope? Like I literally, like
we have to speak every day. Like if we've got something on our mind, we speak and we're like, oh, okay, that's better now. Like you just kind of let it off your chest. So
and Rakaia like, Asha, you're being stupid. I'm like, Rakaia, calm down. So.
Yes, it's good.
No, it's important still, you know, and I love how you touched upon, you know, gratitude. You know. Being aware of the things that are good around you, whether that's what you've been gifted by, so friends, family, children, you know, opportunities, just life are the greatest thing itself. But how about the things that you do? He said, you know what, I haven't done nothing this year, but we actually have. We just aced that event, and we've got a next one. Journaling is a good one. Even like this for like me, and the people, in terms of your guests who are coming on and the man them, to just sit and chat and have spaces to just, you know, reason. It's proper, man. It's wicked. As life goes on, you know, we're constantly evolving, growing. Like, how are you finding, you know, adulting, like growing up? Like, how is that? Because I struggle with it, you know.
Yeah, we struggle.
Same. I don't know who told me to be an adult. I don't know why I was rushing to be an adult, because boy, it's hard in this.
I think it's like you feel like you have time limits and you feel like you have to, I need to do this, like time's running out, time's like not
Watch her. It's alright. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. No, we're here.
I was on silent.
No, no, it's cool, man. No, it's blessed.
Sorry.
It's blessed. Don't watch that, man.
Can I just? It's just my brother. He's got my daughter.
Yeah.
Sorry. God, sorry, my little brother.
I feel like she'd like bang her head.
I know. my little brother's looking after my daughter for the first time.
Okay. So. How old is he?
17.
So why he's growing up fast as
yeah,
well.
So he's in charge of her, so he rang me. So I'm like, oh God, what's happened?
On the topic of adulting, he's becoming a responsible young man.
Literally.
But
sometimes I don't even feel like an adult.
No.
An adult. Like we just still feel like we're kids.
We forget that we're adults.
We forget.
Still quite a youth at heart.
Yeah.
Still quite youthful. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much emphasis now, you know, on mental health and you know having spaces to chat. Like I've always needed a space to chat.
Yeah.
It's quite. I don't. Sadly, I've always been a bit stressed and overwhelmed with stuff. You know. So in terms of adulting, I've especially now with the social media and is being creative. There's all these pages, aren't there? These mind business pages where you've got like. I don't know, celebrities talking, chase your dreams and wake up at 5 a.m. every
morning. We were talking about it.
Literally, sometimes I'm just like, shut up.
I was
I can't do that today.
Like getting out of bed, having breakfast.
Yeah, like everyone does everything like aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So you feel like, oh, I'm not living like that. I'm not having avocado on sourdough bread and like cherry tomatoes and like cracked pepper and you're just like grabbing nothing or eating leftovers in the morning. Yeah. So you feel like, oh, I'm not living that way and I'm not being an adult. But no, that's not what everyone really does. And some people, that's their job to be creative. So they have to do that. That's how they pay their bills. So sometimes looking at social media,
it's hard, man.
It's a lot. It is. You feel like you're not living great, but that's not the case.
Or doing enough. Like, is he saying that the kind of avocado, sourdough, black pepper, garnished with like, do you know what I mean?
Sometimes Hovis bread. Like.
Hovis basic. What? Co-op.
Like, we don't
value
need the
savers.
Sometimes. Like, it's
what I mean?
Literally. So it's a lot. Social media is a lot.
I do think though, like, it's easy when you feel like you're going through things to not want to speak to people. You just like don't want to talk and stuff like that. But actually, it's honestly the best thing sometimes. Like you think, I just don't want to talk to anyone. I'm just not in the mood to talk to people. But actually, when you just push yourself and do actually speak, then you're like, oh, why didn't I just do that earlier?
Just do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, P speaks a lot about, his thing is mindset and, books and education and stuff like that. And he would always say to you, like, what things gave you the mindset to, be who you are today? Like, is it have you had certain experiences? Is it like your parents who's instill certain like values? Like what are the things that keep you, balanced and steady, would you say?
I don't know how deep do you want us to be.
Go through. This is what it do. This is what it do. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, I would say just, I don't know. I would say like family, parents have a big impact on it. Like, even just like, say, obviously with the event, if anyone talks about that, like, they were just very supportive and like, oh, do you need anything? Do you want us to help? Or share this, do this, like, help how we need it and stuff like that. So I think it is important for when, like, parents and stuff, like, support the things that you're doing and, like, say, oh, you did a really good job, like,
and those kind of
you want to do.
Bumpy.
I wanted to ask, like, individually, do you remember when you were 15, 13, what did you guys want to be?
I always wanted to do, like, from my being literally primary school, I've always wanted to have a charity. Like, that's always, everyone that knows me, I've always wanted to do charity work. Like, I never used to be like, oh, you're not going to make no money. Like, but I know it's so weird. Like, you need to make money, but I don't know. I like to help people. I've always wanted to do a job to help people. It's always been my goal. So it's just how to do that, but kind of also still being able to survive. But I've always wanted to do that, always. So I feel like now I'm kind of living in my truth, doing what I want to do, which I never thought that would happen. But I've always wanted to do charity work, always.
And it's still surviving. Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of us would look at, how I'm going to survive, the balance, finance, I need to pay the bills, I've got a family, I need to keep the lights on, I need to keep us all fed. But I find that, not always, but when you do the things that make you feel alive, for some reason, things just...
It just happens, it falls into place.
Yeah.
It just drops in place. In yourself?
Well, mine was so different. I always remember 4 things that I've written down that I wanted to be. I remember I wanted to be a wedding planner, interior designer, florist, and an architect. One of them.
Wow.
Yeah. She's very creative. Asha is
like
she can literally do everything. She has 1,000 talents.
I like creating things for people and seeing their reaction, kind of thing. I like to be like, oh, I've done this, and it's like, oh wow, I love it. So anything that's I can be creative with and is going to be appreciated by someone else. So
have you always been creative?
Yeah.
What do you think influenced that?
I feel like my mum was quite creative. She used to do fashion and stuff like that. Now she works in IT, so random. But she did fashion. She's always been creative. Even she used to do a lot of her own clothes,
into the sewing.
Yeah, sewing and stuff like that. So I don't know, and I've just always liked drawing and things.
Okay. So. I've not seen any of art,
And she's literally the confidence. She doesn't really listen. She has 1,000 Instagram pages she's made that nobody knows about because she's just
Rakaia calls me a backstreet
some backstreet artist nobody knows what's it.
Yeah, I do a few logos.
She does logos for people that know she does it. But put your work out there.
Yeah.
So now we know.
She can do everything. You would websites, logos. She does cakes, birthday cake, everything.
You're ramping,
She's messing about.
You are
be a multi-millionaire right now.
You're ramping. Because go on.
What's then stopping you then? I know you said self-esteem and stuff like that.
Yeah, confidence.
Do you know what? I just get really bad anxiety that people aren't going to like the things that I do. So especially say for example, I make a lot of cakes for friends and family and stuff like that, mostly. So when I make the cake, I'm just sat there watching people eat it, oh, they're going to like it. And I feel like the whole amount of anxiety that comes with just seeing if someone likes something is just, I think, is it worth it? To feel even when I do a logo for someone, I'm do you like it? If you don't like it, let me know. Just let me know. And they're yeah, I really like it. But I'm just are you sure?
Are you sure if you don't?
Yeah. So I think it's just
where do you think that
stems from?
I
was just about to ask the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, actually. Sometimes I think actually, so some of my relatives as well, that say, I know if I make decisions sometimes it's they say do you think you'll be able to do that, or do you think so I think that comes down because I think even though they're supportive, but you can see that they're fearful, so it's
doubtful of it.
if they, and I think times are so different now as well. So for example, I used to work at the Home Office, and so obviously a government civil service, whatever. So it's families oh, it's really good. You can say that you get a good pension. It's just that's just not.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that.
I'm not don't want to just stay there and do that. So it's to be creative, you have to be able to take a risk, and sometimes it's hard to. But I feel now, not especially older generations see that you don't have to just go down an academic route all the time just to be in a good place, because could have a good job and not be happy. So
I love that you expressed that, because we all in some way have had a conversation with an elder or worked with a colleague that's been in the same job for 30 years. Oh, I've only got 9 years left, I'm getting my pension, my state,
Yeah.
I know that for those who are content with it and that they have the pension and I don't go on holidays every year and odd caravan trip and whatever, and grandkids get everything, cool. But how many of you are actually content with that? How many of you have actually settled for that? And I don't want your fear to be contagious with me, So now I'm having to think, do you know what? Do you know what? I've had this idea for time, you know. It might not work, but do you know what? I've got this little job that's a 9 to 5, so I'm just gonna hold it down. Rather than do the things that creative and make you feel alive. So,
and I think also actually that's like, obviously I know people say so much negative things about social media, like, oh yeah, compare, and it's sometimes, but I think that's the most positive thing about social media is people are able to express themselves so much now, be creative, make businesses from, like, we wouldn't have that platform if we didn't have social media. So I think that is like the biggest positive, that people can just be a bit more expressive
on the platforms.
On platforms and create businesses from stuff like.
Just following on from what you said, what Mr. John said about, and you said as well about, you can have a 9 to 5, and you're not actually happy in that life. Are you two happy?
Now, I would say happier. Like, I'm happier now doing this, because I feel like finally I've kind of like broke through this confidence thing. So now I just feel more positive about the future. As before, I was very uncertain what I wanted to do. I didn't really, say like with Asha, she has, like, she's good at things like physical things.
So
like with me.
So are you.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, with me, I'm more like, I like to do things. I don't like say like I can't bake, but I don't try to bake. It's not my interest, things like that. So mine's always kind of been like trying to find like me, like what do I want to do for me, like not just make money. And obviously I've always wanted to do like some sort of charity work, but it's just how to go about it in the right way. So I feel like now I'm kind of on the path of, finding myself, like, finally. So yeah, I feel like I'm more excited for the future, like next year and so on. So, yeah.
Nothing pays more than fulfillment in itself. There is nothing that pays more than that. Don't play down your skills and your thing.
No, I'm not saying I don't have skills. Like I just mean as in like I always didn't know like what like like doing like something physical. I was more like I don't know.
But you all we're both Rakaia is also very creative.
Yeah, but creative in a different way.
No,
so
but
like me, it was just
you're like a fashion stylist.
Yes, no, but
fashion
no, I didn't do that.
Very much a fashion style icon.
Because people see me looking mad in Tesco. So
what's your favourite qualities about each other?
Yeah, beautiful question.
Okay, so Rakaia is very, very supportive. And Rakaia, as you can probably see now, she very much like pushes me and supports me a lot. You're like a therapist as well. Funny, very funny. I don't know, like just supportive, funny, just I don't know, just a good vibe, positive.
Exuding this life, she just exudes this energy, high caliber energy.
And I feel like actually, I think just as we've grown together, we're very much always on the same vibe. When I'm chill, she's chill. When we're in a party mood, we're both in a party mood.
Literally.
I think we actually joke that that our mums actually stole us from someone. We're actually twins.
We're literally like our brains just think like we'll be thinking the same thing all the time. It's just we're so synced. It's actually crazy like how in sync we are.
Yeah.
I can grasp that still as well. It's like when you're playing down your skills, you're like no.
Yeah, she does.
Talking about you, and it's the same. It's the same thing. It's good balance though.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good balance. What about
for Asha?
Yeah, for Asha.
Asha is like extremely creative, like so intelligent. Like I have to ask her how and be like, how do you spell this? It's like Asha, how do you do this? Like Asha's like my brain. Like she's very creative. She's got a good heart. Very caring. She's just got like. She's helped me through a lot. Like she's always been there, like a good friend. So she's always been very, very supportive. Like without Asha, I wouldn't be able to just get on with life. So she's like always been there for me for a lot of stuff.
I love that stuff.
So it's just been a good friend really.
And you seem quite like, grown's not the word, I'd say very much like composed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She is. She just chill. She's just chill. Like, she's just quite good. And everybody says that about Asha. Like, she's just
I think we're both very, very similar. Very similar, but very different, which is so weird. Yeah.
You complement each other. I know how you spoke about Asha being very much, the brains, creative in a different way. But then you're also, Rakaia, creative in your way, and that just helps each other.
Very
because
good
you're the kind of, if I might get up and let's just go.
She's very level. One thing about Rakaia, she's very level-headed, and she's a pusher. Sometimes I could just be chilling all day, and she's like, "Come on, Asha, we've gotta go." But so
blessings. I love it, man. I love true relationships amongst you people, loved ones. And it's so hard as well. Obviously, I know you won't always see eye to eye with things, because we don't at all. Us two have had some real heated discussions. Most of my fault, to be fair. Just saying. But like, a lot of people say you can't mix friendship and business, and business and friendship. Like, how do you kind of navigating that dynamic, or are you just both so in sync it's never really been a thing?
We literally don't, we've never ever had a fallout in our whole life, ever. We've never ever fell out. We've never not spoke for a day, unless
we're a little bickers.
Like, we have like normal sister bickers, and then but we'll still be on the phone and be like, oh, whatever, then I'm like, oh, so anyway, like,
to be fair, we bicker more in group situations, just because maybe if we want to like
we always say it.
Maybe if we're in a group situation and we're getting annoyed with other people, we'll take out on each other. Yeah.
It's wild. That is wild.
But like, oh my God, I don't want to have an argument with this person, so I'm just going to shout.
Take it on you.
Yeah, but no, we don't argue. When I think, like you said, when it comes to like doing things and projects and business together, we're very much like, we have a lot of the same ideas, and we like bounce off each other quite well.
And we're very easy to, if we didn't have the same idea, like, we're not stubborn on the fact of like, we're open to like all merge it together. It's not, it has to be one, it's a joint thing. So even if my idea don't get used, then it can get used next time, or and we're not stubborn, or like, oh, we're happy to just go with the flow. We're just go with the flow, so we don't mind.
Look at this, two eloquent, knowledged up, funny black woman. Young black woman, yes, it's a proper things, queens, Yes, man, yes, man.